People, move this a bit closer. People, DG, I'm back again. See, normally I would cut that vid and do it again, but I think that's why you lot like me, man. I'm a very unprofessional professional person. You see the rawness, the realness. I'm not gonna edit unnecessary things out. Um, yeah, man. Your favourite YouTuber, I'm back again, but we might as well talk about the last month of the year in December in regards to the Premier League. Now, obviously, it's a bit of a focus towards the top six. No disrespect to the smaller sides. I think you wouldn't believe. Okay, I'm not a Leicester fan, and I know they've had several comments about the lack of fluidity and a couple of decisions Claude Puel's made. But I see two great wins against who did they beat? Forgive me if I'm wrong. But City and Chelsea, and they're what? They're the top half of the table, so they've done all right. I feel. West Ham obviously lost to Burnley, but I feel they've improved a bit. Felipe Anderson is doing his thing. Who else? Wolves are obviously having a bit of a wobble and stuff, but a good win against Spurs. There's obviously Watford as well. So there's a good couple of reasons. Brighton are doing better than many people are giving them credit for. The people are doing decent out here. Obviously, if you support Liverpool, from what at first looked like Chelsea, and this is why I tell you, like December, it doesn't matter what people do. You just need to focus on December if you want to win the league and get in the groups. Because first and foremost, in the summer, what did you hear? Liverpool should win the league title, blah blah blah. Then it was all just Chelsea and City. Then obviously Spurs came into the equation. Now it seems to be Liverpool, and you're looking at Thursday against Manchester City and Liverpool, either sets of supporters. That's a decisive game, to be fair with you. So yeah, Liverpool are first essentially. 21 goals in a busy period. They smacked us up. They smacked us 5-1. They put 3 against United and beat them 3-1. Dealt with Newcastle. They're doing what they need to do. Probably could have kept a bit more clean sheets, but they on a general basis in the Premier League, they're keeping good clean sheets. They've improved vastly defensively, better in terms of game management. Liverpool have always been a good attacking side, but more often than not, it was a case of attack is the best form of defense. Now they're still not fully there, but now they can attack is still the best form of defense, and they still annihilate teams. But at times, rather than be a bit gun ho, even against Arsenal when they were comfortably up, you could see Klopp wanted a bit more stability, a bit more calming influence, a bit more knowing when players need to turn certain things off and just call basically. So what can I say? Liverpool are doing their things, and it's scary because obviously Firmino just grabbed their hat trick. Salah's still scoring goals, and Mane chipped in as well. But I still think that front three, all of them respectively, can go up several levels. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You've got signings like Shaqiri probably getting more game time than people assumed, but he's doing his job, and I felt he won't get the Shaqiri, for example, will not get the praise because obviously Firmino grabbed the hat trick and it's all about other stuff. But I feel a lot of the movement Shaqiri was making is very underrated in general and was very underrated against Arsenal. So what? Like I said, Liverpool are fifth. We'll look at the Premier League table specifically later, but Liverpool are first. They've done their thing. Then you've obviously got Manchester City. I don't know why I said Liverpool are fifth, but you've got City second. See, I still think City will do it. I'm not gonna sit here and say people are definitely gonna win it. It could all happen. I think City. I hope City win it. I mean, I don't care if it's not Arsenal, but I mean, I'll be able to sleep just that bit easier if City win it as opposed to definitely Liverpool. Their odds are definitely Spurs. And of course, I don't want, even though Chelsea are mathematically can do it, but they're not really the flavour of the month anymore. Of course, I don't want them involved. But yeah, I still think City will do it. But they're having a bit of a blip. I mean, they lost to what? Palace, Leicester, and Chelsea. They dropped points, man. That's 6 games, 3 losses, and that's something you wouldn't attribute to Pep Guardiola. I mean, that's normal for any team, but because it's Manchester City and them things, alarm bells are ringing. They're still scoring goals and stuff like that. Like they turned things around against Southampton because they were drawing at a point. But yeah, I still think they'll do what they need to do, but they need to probably. I don't think anyone's complacent, but they probably need to calm down and air out any complacency because you've got people just below them breathing down their necks. Um, Spurs probably eyeing up that City place. To be fair with you, so there's that. Obviously, you've obviously got Spurs. Spurs obviously this month has been watered down because of the heavy defeat. Well, not heavy defeat, but defeats against Arsenal 4-2 and obviously losing to Wolves. But other than that, they've had a busy period. It's been a testing run. They haven't signed any players, so they need all their players to pull together. Kane is scoring. He could play better as well. Got up several levels in my opinion. But he's doing his thing. Son probably their most informed player, doing what he needs to do. Free scoring, blitzing teams, just dealing with business. Obviously, the pick of the games for me with Spurs would probably be Spurs versus Everton. I feel again, Spurs are ups, but they were a joy to watch. I mean, some of the plays, the ways they were cutting up Everton was ridiculous, and the Bournemouth game was good as well. To be fair with you, but it was for me, it was more a case of Bournemouth were just poor. I mean, Everton were poor as well, but Spurs just went ham. Credit where due, man. It would have been a near perfect month if they didn't lose to us in the league and they didn't lose to Wolves as well. So while I still think they're gonna definitely probably get top four. If I had to name my top four right now, I'd probably say, again, this all can change, but at this moment in time, December the 31st, I'm going to say Manchester City and Liverpool, shoe-ins, without a doubt. I'm going to say Spurs, and the fourth one is a shootout. And if I had to look at it, it depends how you quantify it, because United have been poor, but the feel-good factor of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could maybe see them into that race. They did finish second last year as well, so they know how to do it. You've obviously Chelsea have had a wobble as well, but any team with Hazard needs to be in with a shout. Obviously, I'm hoping Arsenal do it, and out of all the three, Arsenal probably got the least chance. But my heart is making me say this. So, yeah, man, if I had to pick out of four teams, I'd probably say Manchester City, Liverpool, Spurs, and Chelsea probably do it. Admittedly, with saying Chelsea, I've something just telling me Man United are gonna do something booky and go on a run of form or something. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Hopefully if Spurs, United, Liverpool could just lose Chelsea too could just lose every game from now to the end of the season, I'd be a happy gooner. But that's not how football works. So yeah, man, Spurs are doing their thing. Obviously Chelsea have had a bit of a wobble. Yeah, Chelsea have been winning games, but I don't think Chelsea have been in the best of form necessarily, in my opinion. I look at the Palace game, I feel they could have played better. I feel they could go up several levels. I feel Jorginho and Kovacic probably dipped in particular. Kante's still adjusting to his role. Yes, he scored. So yeah, I do think they could play better. I do think they could improve defensively as well. But they're doing what they need to do. Obviously, they had the shock defeat against Leicester. They bounced back from losing against Spurs in November to beat City as well. So they're doing what they need to do. To be fair with you, like I said, I feel they're not playing to their full potential and not scoring enough. But Chelsea are Chelsea, and they're probably going to be in among the shouts. And probably in January here in Higuain, I don't know how practical that is, but who knows what could be done for them in that regards, man. So what I've spoken about Liverpool, I've spoken about Manchester City. Have we spoken about Man United? Well, I don't remember if I have, but we might as well do it again. Obviously, we saw Jose go. It's weird because if you look at the group, if you look at the just without knowing that the manager's gone and all these other things with the club, if you look at their run in December, excluding the champs and stuff, it's actually been a decent December. Sorry for them. It's been decent. We know Jose was toxic, and more often than not, we know that United needs someone who's a trainer first, coach second, manager second, someone that will work with what he has and get a free-flowing way of playing football and stuff like that. But away from all of that, just for now, they needed a different voice. They just needed someone that doesn't attribute negative. The players needed to get a spring in their step, and they've got that with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So if nothing more comes of their season, it's a good sort of base or damage limitation sort of thing for the next man to take over. I do think they would have won these games that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's won, but it would have been under different circumstances. It probably would have been nervy games, individual brilliance with Martial or Pogba or something, like you saw with late goals. I remember one season, I think Pogba got 2 and Lukaku got 2 against West Ham. Definitely against Burnley when Alexis Sanchez scored the last minute winner. Or was it Newcastle? Forgive me if I'm wrong, people. But these sort of things, yes, these games are games United definitely should be expected to win, but they've blitzed these sides that they've played, man, to be fair with you. And I'll give credit to Jose, they did beat Fulham 4-1 as well. So on paper, it's been a very kind month to them. They've grabbed 12 goals in their last 3 games, so United fans should feel a bit more positive in regards to fighting for the top 4 and things like that. They're doing what they need to do. They're only 3 points behind Arsenal now, and it was just the other day, it's doom and gloom. And this is why I tell football fans, don't write too many conclusions. The only conclusions that matter is in the end of April to mid-May or whenever the Premier League ends. So yeah, we've spoken about Liverpool, Manchester City, United, Spurs and Chelsea, which leaves Arsenal. Save the best till last. I know statistically we ain't the best, but the best in my heart, innit? I mean, we find ourselves in December. We've had a good run in the Premier League. On the grand scheme of things, we've had a better Premier League post-Wenger season than we would have thought. There's still a bit wrong with us that we can improve on, but it's been good. you thought November would be the one where we would go through this wobble, and we've been avoiding it. And sadly, for it to happen in December, it's left us with a lot of ground, because this is the period, like I've told you, lot. This is the period you need to not lose games. Essentially, you need to get into January the 1st knowing you're still 2 points, 1 point, 3 points max, or obviously I think Arsenal are, so I won't quantify. Off your desired position, and I don't think Arsenal have done that. We really shot ourselves in the foot, and really all this hard work and all this unbeaten run, despite the fact that it was telling stories, counts for nothing really and truly. Now, obviously against away to Liverpool, we can go either way. You'd kill for a point. Arsenal fans, we expect to lose, but then to lose to Southampton, to drop points against Brighton, these are the things that cost you in regards to the top four. And if you look at it, out of all of the top six rivals, if you was to quantify it, everybody's going to drop points, but Arsenal will probably drop the most points out of everybody. And a couple of the rivals have to play each other. We've finished with Liverpool now. Liverpool can leave us alone. They've got 4 points off us for this season. We've got to play United at home. We welcome Chelsea at the Emirates. We've got to go to Wembley. I think we have to go to the Etihad as well. So we've got to still play the top six. And if you're an Arsenal fan, out of all of the top six sides, we're probably the least likely to take points off our rivals. I hope I'm wrong, but if we're least likely to take points off our rivals, and we are going, it's a fact, we are going to drop points from now to the end of the season. Other people will as well, but we're already playing catch up. Does this leave you with any confidence? Obviously, in January, we need to get the business sorted. We need a centre half. I'm not saying it needs to be Skriniar or something. I would love these top bracket centre halves, but we just need someone that's competent. We've ruined our hard work. Yes, it was lovely to beat Spurs 4-2, and it's almost like that was 2 months ago. It was a terrific performance. It was a lovely game plan by the lads, by everybody involved. But we really shot ourselves in the foot, man. Like, if I just look at Arsenal's fixtures, because why do I feel like I'm missing something out? Let me look at Arsenal's fixtures, people, quickly. Nah, show me the results, man. Yeah, I knew it. We beat Burnley 3-1. Credit where due, that was a good result. But we lost to Southampton, so it means nothing. We just about beat Huddersfield. A point at Old Trafford. I knew we played United. I was gonna say it. You know when you're thinking of something in your head, people, but I didn't want to look silly. A point at Old Trafford, definitely as an Arsenal fan, like I will take that, because I remember what was it when it was Adebayor or Gilberto Silva, one of them man in 06 when we took 3 points off them. But if you look at the United game, we shot ourselves in the foot. We could have won that game. We conceded 2 goals within like 90 seconds. The same against Liverpool. This is not the sort of thing to get you top 4. So while I also have sympathy for Unai Emery, because a lot of these is the players' faults, we're halfway through the year. It doesn't matter if it's not his own players and stuff like that. I need to see certain things, and I'm not seeing them, to be honest with you. So I think top 4 is a myth for us anyways. We've dropped too many points. We're still not killing teams off. Ironically, one of the good starting points is that we've scored early goals. We scored 2 early goals in our last 2 games. But the sad thing is we dropped points against them. I mean, we scored in the first 10 minutes with Maitland-Niles or so against Liverpool, and we scored within the first 7 with Aubameyang at Brighton. How many times have Arsenal turned around and done these sort of things in the first half or whatever? It's a shame because we lost them, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky month. So if you're Liverpool fans, complacency is the only killer with you lot. If you're City, you kind of, I wouldn't be as mad and writing all these conclusions like these journalists are making that they've lost it. If you're United, while you shouldn't read too much into the results, you should be very optimistic about an uptick in form, in my opinion. Spurs, they should still have hella confidence. They were going to lose eventually this season again, hopefully. I'm happy for that. Wolves, they shot themselves in the foot. They can have no excuses, but they've done their thing. Spurs, Chelsea are iffy, but if I'm Chelsea and Sarri, you're probably thinking we need to go up several levels. Arsenal, if you're gonna have any top 4 hopes, you need to pull your finger out. You really need to pull your finger out, man, because I think out of all of the top 6, I think us and United probably least likely to get top 4, but I think United, that feel-good factor could really, and the change in how they're playing could really tip the balance of things, and they're only 3 points off us as well, so Arsenal really need to pull their fingers out. So yeah. On the side note, I think West Ham, I've already said they've been doing alright, small. Watford as well. Burnley are in trouble in my opinion. Yeah, they got a win, but it's not being spoken about. Sean Dyche is not being spoken about. He seems to be a media darling. Marco Silva of Everton as well. Again, they're not in relegation and things like that, but for someone that's praised of being this sick manager and this and that, you need to really ask questions about what you're doing, really and truly. But I've got nothing more to, pardon me, I've got nothing more to say on that front. So, people, deluded. Get a comment, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish. I'm out, and that's my Premier League assessment for December done. I'll see you at the end of January for the first one in 2019. Out.